This podcast is brought to you by Remotely FM. If you're a podcaster, you know how difficult it can be to record high quality remote interviews. Remotely FM makes it super simple for you to record your next interview. The platform records each participant locally on separate studio quality audio and video tracks. The tracks are automatically backed up and much more. To start recording great remote interviews and to learn more, go to remotely.fm. Today's high-end gaming, we talk about The Legend of Zelda. With me is my co-host Teddy. I'm your host Matt. And we have a special guest, the first actual guest who's not just a person we grew up with. His name's BKnapp. He's a music producer out of Illinois. He does a lot of stuff with 90s hip-hop and video game samples and compositions. He's got a new album titled Clouds that'll be released Bandcamp October 16th, which is today.
Nice.
Oh, shit, it's today. And it's going to be on streaming services later in November. Say hello, Brady.
Hey, what's good, guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
Brady, also, the music that you just heard before I started speaking, that is Brady's music. The dungeon, the intro music. It's Bowser's Castle. You can listen to it on YouTube. That's how I found it. Found it on YouTube. Stumbled across it one day while I was listening to some sweet video game music, and then I reached out to good old BKnapp and asked him if I could use it as the intro, and he said absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool,
man. Beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's funny too, because that was that was from the first beat tape I ever put online. And that was 6 years ago now or so. I was still in college at the time.
Oh, how old is it?
So it came out, I'm trying to remember the exact
Timeless.
date. I think, I think it's May of maybe 2014, possibly.
Okay. Damn.
And that's when I put it online, I remember thinking man, this might get 10 views. This is gonna be sick. And
is that your most viewed?
Probably not. I've done a couple Nintendo. I mean, I know most of my shit's Nintendo related, but I did a Super Nintendo related one. I had a track called Game Over that has probably the most views or plays on SoundCloud and shit. That's where I make the most money off of anyways.
Okay. So you make money off the YouTube or off the SoundCloud?
Basically just streaming. So through Spotify and Apple and everything. Okay. I have my own YouTube, but it's pretty shitty. I'm not going to lie. It has maybe 1,000 followers.
That's where I found you, man.
Hey, that works. That works. See, on YouTube though, there are people who have taken my stuff and uploaded to them on playlists and mixes. So there's mixes of mine out there that have 1 million views. And then my channel, it's 104 views.
Oh.
I'm looking at it. But some of them have a couple thousand.
Yeah, I'm never mad about that though, because all that extra plays from other spots on the internet, it always kind of comes back to either my Spotify or my Bandcamp or whatever. So it's all good, man.
Yeah, that one album, the SNES Beats, you got the Yoshi's Island hip hop remix, you got the Super Mario World Castle hip hop remix that we play as the intro. And I was on the fence about which one was my favorite from that album, either the Super Mario World Castle or the Donkey Kong Country 2 Crook's March hip hop.
That's Donkey Kong Country.
We play that one as the outro.
Ooh. Yeah, man, Donkey Kong Country. Holy shit, that David Wise, the guy who composed that, he is a genius, man. They are so catchy, all that entire soundtrack.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, people who didn't even play the game know the music.
Exactly.
Dude, I mean, I would consider you an expert on this subject, this question I'm going to ask.
Hey, I'll take that.
Would you say that's the top video game soundtrack of all time?
Ooh. It's up there. Honestly, I have to say, for me anyways, personally, Ocarina of Time will always be my favorite.
See, that's interesting because I think one of my favorite songs of any video game ever is the Song of Storms from Ocarina of Time.
Absolutely.
That shit's fucking dope as fuck. I took a piano class so that I could learn how to play that, and I was like, this is gonna. I didn't learn though because I'm an underachiever, I guess.
Hey, you thought about it though, you know.
I bet you know how to damn whistle it though.
Oh yeah, I do want to play it, but like, you just have to listen to it on your own, Ted, if you're not familiar with it.
No, I will be familiar with it.
The funny thing about that song is like literally like most of it is just 3 notes, but it's so fucking good still.
Yeah. A lot of the songs in Ocarina of Time, but you think Ocarina of Time has the number one, like in Nintendo, or number one overall?
Honestly, I would say overall. I know many people would disagree with that, but I just think. One, I grew up with it, so that's a big factor. Have to consider that. But 2, that game does such a good job of not only is the music good, but it fits every like scene or every whatever dungeon you're in or whatever field you're in. It just fits perfectly.
Yeah. Now, Donkey Kong Country, that music's great. It's amazing. That soundtrack to me is what really set me off on listening to video game music all the time. Yeah. When I'm working or when I'm doing other shit, because it's so fucking good. But it's kind of just like really good music. And yes, while it seems
I still feel like video game music is like a niche type of thing. Like
it's like a masterpiece for the game.
People think like they don't understand me because I listen to like Tekken 7 music in the car or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that's because they're listening to what they're listening to. Like it's just trash can music. Anything popular, like music wise, I probably don't like it. Like I was a big Led Zeppelin fan growing up, and what rock band has come close to?
That's actually a good question.
Like it's all about your brain. It's not like you have a choice. Like you like the music you like. That shit goes into your fucking ears and shit, and it activates parts of your brain. My shit's Donkey Kong. That's what gets me popping off.
For whatever reason, Donkey Kong. That's my sweet spot too.
Dude, I jammed to that shit.
Some people listen to Billie Eilish. I got Aquatic Ambience in the car.
Yep. Oh yeah.
See, me, I don't think I got past the train car stage. So that song, it's like burned in my head as like, you're never gonna beat this.
That's a frustrating ass level. I'll say that.
They are the worst levels. But then you meet people who they're like, oh, those rail car levels are my favorite. It's like, dude, get the fuck away from me.
How are you built for that?
I wouldn't like a person like that to marry my daughter. You know what I mean? Just so I'm gonna ask this dude, I'm gonna be like, yo, what's your favorite Donkey Kong level? And if he says Minecart Man, it's like he's either a sociopath or he's not right for your children.
That guy's definitely a serial killer.
Yeah, he's definitely a serial killer, just pretending. That's the answer. That's the answer.
Bonus human shit with the animals. Those aren't stages. Those are bonus levels. Different things.
Yeah. In the most, I know we're supposed to be talking about Zelda. Who gives a fuck? Yeah. Like when you ride like the ostrich, and they're in the levels. They're in some of the levels. Like you ride the dolphin or the swordfish in the water levels, and you fucking, it's like you kill everything. It makes it easier.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they were good. But so back to like Legend of Zelda music. That's a great segue into what like some of the questions that I had. I definitely wanted to ask about some music. Like what Zelda song? What is the best? What Zelda game had the best music? I mean, obviously you're gonna say Ocarina of Time, but you can't use that answer again for music. Best game which game has the best music, and like what's the best song?
See, that's a tricky question too, because Zelda's one of those franchises where it's like basically every game besides the whatever CD ones came out for Zelda. I never played those, but every other one of the Zelda games has a great soundtrack. So like. Mm-hmm. No matter what anyone says, you can't really like argue against it, because they're all good. I would say if I can't pick Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker's comes to mind.
Yep.
Breath of the Wild was really good too because it was just very simplistic, but it fit the game very, very well.
I didn't notice the soundtrack as much in Breath of the Wild. Like
no, and I remember when I played it for the first time. Initially, I was kind of disappointed because I was thinking like, oh man, this is going to be the Hyrule Field Jam, and this is going to be that. Maybe I also was thinking that too because I was just like, man, what can I sample? But the more I played it, the more I like learned to like really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, and it's just one of those games. Like that's the Zelda game that I've played the most by far.
Yeah, you know what? I might be the most now on Breath of the Wild too, just because I don't know. It's just one of those games you just can't put down. You know?
Yeah. I was just showing it to Teddy. Teddy is a bit of a anti-Zelda person. He thought Zelda was. Yeah, you didn't play any of them.
All right, so I guess this is my history with Legend of Zelda. So every time
Ocarina of Time.
Oh yeah, I can't get past the damn Deku tree or the damn Deku tree, and I probably
like the first stage.
Dude, I probably had like 7 or 8 different saves, and I get stuck over there. I think it crashed on my original Nintendo 64. I don't know how, games crash on the 64, but
sounds like an excuse.
And then I had it on the emulator. Then the emulator crashed. So yeah, I've yet to get past the basic tutorial.
Talking about the Deku tree.
Yeah, the Deku tree, is it? Or the Deku? Does it matter how you say it?
I think so, especially if you can't beat it.
But yeah, that's as far as I've gotten on three different systems trying to play that shit on emulators and original hardware. So I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah, we were talking about so was that your first? We're talking about like different parts, different music in the Zelda game. So I don't think, Ted, you really know much about the music of it.
No, not at all.
Now, there's some of the music, like I grew up with it. I'm sure Brady feels the same way. Like growing up with those games, like Link to the Past, the one on Super Nintendo, that music was some of the best music of its time then.
Yes, very true.
And then, the upgrade to N64, like, obviously fucking Zelda was created by the exact same man who created Mario. And like, what's the fucking word? Oh, coincidentally, they're both about a fucking guy saving a princess. So, not really.
Yeah, real creative folks over there.
Yeah, not super like divergent paths. But here's the thing: while Mario may be the most popular character, he is not the best. Zelda games are definitely the flagship of like true video games on Nintendo, in my opinion. Like Mario's for kids kind of now.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Zelda's for grown people,
I definitely, when I was like 5, that's the first time I ever got a game system. I got a Nintendo 64. I remember my grandma bought it for me. Shouts out to my grandma. And I remember just spending countless hours also in the Deku tree, just not knowing what the fuck to do because I was a 5 or 6 year old.
Right.
So that's probably why I had the luxury now. I'm like, look, this is easy. That's because I went all through the hard shit when I was 5 through like age 10, just of not knowing anything. And remember, that was before you could just go on Google and just be like, how to beat Deku tree. No, it was just like, I just struggled for years.
Ted, how old were you?
This was only like a couple years ago.
That's how I fucking knew it. I do. It's like, dude, some of those games.
No, dude, I think it took. Just speaking on games that like took us really long to beat. I think it took me like 5 years to beat like Half-Life, the first Half-Life.
Dude, I never even beat Half-Life, dude.
Yeah, Half-Life took me a long time to beat too, actually.
Dude, I've seen fucking speedruns of that game being done in like 15 minutes.
Oh yeah,
it's disgusting.
I don't even like watching speedrunners sometimes because it's just like, man, sometimes I used to think like I was good at video games, but it's like, nope, I'm terrible at them.
No, yeah, not even close. Those guys, they know everything. They know like all the random number generation shit, all that.
Yeah, I used to think it was really cool because this actually is the opposite of cool, but I like have Ocarina of Time like memorized. Like I could just play that game front to back and just beat it. However, I use zero of the fucking whatever they even do. They like walk backwards and go through walls. You could like beat that game in like fucking 10 minutes now. Like, it would take me 13, 14 hours. It's crazy.
Damn.
Dude, so that game, that is the Zelda game. Like, that's the Metal Gear Solid. That's the fucking iconic takeoff.
For Nintendo.
For Zelda specifically, because not only was it like...
Actually, it does have a lot in common with Metal Gear because all the hero is the exact same.
Yeah, in a way. They're like ancestors and like fucking descendants and shit like that. But that's the game where everything diverges into the timeline, which...
I think the closest thing to the timeline would be like Dragon Ball Z or some shit. It's like the closest timeline to Zelda because you got all these like, if he dies, then this shit happens.
Yeah.
Like, if he fucking beats dude, this shit happens.
Are you referring to Future Trunks?
Yeah.
How familiar are you with Dragon Ball, Brady?
Oh, I'm a big dork. I know all about Dragon Ball.
That's what I like to hear. Dragon Ball, like, you know, the whole idea of going back in time after, like, you save the world, or going forward in time and leaving the future behind, or whatever the fuck. That timeline, that concept of that timeline continuing all fucked up, it almost seems like everybody, it just is like so selfish of the main character. Like, oh my God, like I left the timeline. I thought I saved it, but that timeline just continued all fucked up. I just came back and fucked with another timeline and was fucking with the space-time continuum.
Yo, like, apparently Trunks' timeline is the original timeline. And I think the timeline that we watch is just the only timeline where Goku and shit is still alive.
Interesting.
That's crazy. I didn't know that, actually. I knew Cell was from Trunks' or Future Trunks' timeline, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The androids and shit. Yeah,
right,
that was like that whole thing. So the timeline with Zelda, like, as much as I'm pretty sure I understand it, they're always fucking changing it, and there's always people kind of like discrediting it and saying like there's like different shit happens, because it's one of them things that was like an afterthought, just like Metal Gear Solid's story, just like
nanomachines.
Yeah, just like fucking Dragon Ball Z, like the creation of the continuation,
right?
Of the Zelda series were afterthoughts.
The Zelda timeline, you're 100% right. It's like I'm trying to think the best way to describe it. It's like a puzzle. Like each piece is like a puzzle piece, right? But no one knows what the fuck the picture actually is they're making, you know?
Yeah, they just say like, this is how you finish the puzzle.
Yeah, because I don't even know when did the timeline talks even started with Zelda.
Well, I think they started around like Twilight Princess.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Maybe beforehand. Maybe that's just when I caught on to it, because Twilight Princess is what everybody thought was the real continuation from Ocarina of Time. So
you're definitely right about that.
So Ocarina of Time, you beat you go through the fucking game, and then you come across, you fight Ganondorf. He's all powerful and shit. You fight him as an adult, because you know the story of Ocarina of Time. Brady, correct me if I'm wrong, is Ganondorf's trying to fuck shit up by taking over the Triforce. Very special triangle in the series.
Mm-hmm.
He's, you know, like the embodiment. The three parts of the Triforce is power, wisdom, and courage.
Courage.
And Ganondorf, like Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf, are the three pieces. They're in like a love triangle, sort of like Bowser's bitch, and Mario, the raging Italian. It's like, but like Ganondorf don't give a fuck about Zelda. He doesn't want to have sex with her. Or maybe he does.
He might.
I don't know. He might. He should. I mean,
then she turns into Sheik, and
that's
then
what
happens?
I read online that he wants her to look like Sheik.
That's interesting.
Ganondorf's a little freaky.
Yeah, that's a dude, right?
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely a man. Yeah. because he's the only male Gerudo. Like the Gerudo race, which is they're pretty much just tall humans with pointy noses. I don't know why they're considered. They just live in the desert.
I never understood how he was the only guy.
That was like the way they're. Yeah, it doesn't make sense actually. Like, and the Gerudo race is all women primarily, and a man is born like every 100 years, and he is their king.
What?
Yeah. So that's who Ganondorf is in Ocarina of Time. So he's like the king of the Gerudo. They live in the desert. He like comes to chill and like pay homage, I guess, to the kingdom of Hyrule, the king of Hyrule, Zelda, Princess Zelda's dad. And he's got this nefarious plot, actually.
So wait, everybody's name is Zelda?
No, just Zelda's name is Zelda. What? What do you mean?
But there were like hundreds of Zeldas.
Oh yeah. So So it all kind of really starts with Ocarina of Time, I think.
I think technically the first one in the timeline would be Skyward Sword.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, Skyward Sword. But that's actually like of the modern games the only one I didn't play. But
that's hilarious. I didn't play that one either.
Well, because it was on the Wii U.
Yeah, I didn't want to do all the motion.
Who gives a fuck?
Shit. Yeah, I don't.
Who gives a fuck about the Wii U? Children.
Oh,
The Wii was okay. The Wii was dope. Wii U was beat. That seems to be how like Nintendo does shit. It's like they have one great system and then the next one's like fucking okay.
Yeah,
everybody thought it was just an attachment for the Wii.
Yes, very true.
So like Skyward Sword is the first one. So like this demon guy, his name's Demise. He wants to kill everybody, like all bad guys. And Zelda, or whoever the Zelda goddess, or the goddess Hylia, brings all the people up into space or into the sky.
Oh. And then, like that floating town or whatever?
Yeah, that's Skyward Sword. And then, Link kills him. And then when he kills the bad guy, Demise, he curses everybody to like repeat this shit over and over again. Like, because his hatred is going to continue to...
Because he's a dick.
Yeah, he's a dick, trying to strive for the Triforce of Power. So all that shit before Ocarina of Time is cool, but it's really Ocarina of Time that really changes shit up.
Yeah, you're right.
Because this timeline splits because you're a little kid. I think you're like 12 years old.
Something like that.
You try and save Zelda because the Gerudo king Ganondorf kidnaps her. And he's trying to like gather the power, and then the goddess says, "Hey Link, yeah, this is you. Like, this is your quest, dude. Like, you have to save Zelda, but you're not strong enough. You have to pull the Master Sword." So when he pulls the Master Sword, he gets encased in like stone for 7 years because he's not old enough, which makes no fucking sense.
And then he comes out looking like
he's a
Captain America out the fucking Tesla pod.
He's got a grown man chest, and he's got hair on his chest now. He's 19 or something like that, something around that age. 7 years, I know that.
So nobody was checking this dude for 7 years, so this dude could do whatever he wanted.
No, he was just who Ganondorf or
Link? Ganondorf.
No, that was the thing. Link as a kid wasn't strong enough to fight him, so the Master Sword like froze him.
Which is strange because wasn't he like a kid and all the...
Couldn't he have just like started training for 7 years?
Yeah,
instead of just I'm gonna fall asleep and I'm gonna wake up buff.
Yeah, he was a kid in most of the other games. I think all of them.
But then at the end of that game, she turns you back into a kid, right?
Well, yeah, because you beat Ganon in the future. So that's the timeline split. Yep. There's 3 timelines, right?
And if you don't kill him, you stay as an adult or some shit? No,
so here, there's 3. There's 3 timelines. There's the child timeline, which is when you kill Ganondorf in the future, go back in time. As Zelda's so happy that you...
No, wait. Does you go back in time, or you just go back as a kid?
Dog, you go back in time. Oh, no, yeah, you turn back into a kid.
But okay, so time is still flowing.
Yeah. So
okay, that's regular.
So you defeat Ganon at the end of Ocarina of Time, right? So then Zelda's like, thanks for saving the world. I feel bad for taking 7 years of your life. And she plays the flute, the ocarina, and sends him back to before Ganondorf with all his memories. Before Ganondorf blew up, like got real big. And then he, like, Link soils his plans. And then it's like the whole thing didn't happen. But the problem is when Zelda did that, she split the timeline. And she is still alive in that future timeline that she sent Link back from. So there's two timelines.
So
there.
You're telling me in when she sends it back, he's back into a timeline where he doesn't already exist and is not cased in stone?
Yeah, pretty much. She plays the flute, dude. Right, Brady?
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. Because then that's where, when he gets sent back, then the next game after that was, for that timeline anyways, was Majora's Mask.
Yeah, your little kid.
Yep.
And
I thought Majora's Mask was like a dream or some shit.
No, that was there was a game. There was
Link's Awakening, I believe.
Yeah, Link's Awakening
And
was a dream.
He killed he destroyed a whole island.
Yeah.
He killed hundreds of imaginary people.
Link's Awakening, newsflash, he's never awake the whole fucking game. It's a fucking dream. And he kills the windfish, and the windfish disintegrates an island. And
it's strange. It's a really strange game, saying it out loud, you know?
Dude, I feel like all video games are, except the ones that, like Halo, where it's like, yeah, aliens are going to kill all the humans, so you got to kill all the aliens.
But the creativity for Zelda, too, is still amazing. Because when you were saying all that stuff, I was just thinking about, man, this game was made in... Ocarina of Time was made, what, 97 maybe?
Yeah, 97, 98.
And for them to, like, be the first ones ever to have a game like that, where it's like, okay, the main character, you can play as him as a child, you can play as him as an adult, but, like, the two worlds kind of can interact with each other. So, like, something you do as a kid, you can get it when you're adult. Fucking genius, man.
Yeah, dude.
What came first, Mario 64 or Zelda?
64. 64 came, or Mario 64 came with the 64.
I thought it was delayed. Like, I know it didn't come out when the system launched.
I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm basing that off nothing but my memories. So
I thought it was a system launch game too, but I could be wrong too. I know Pilot Wings was. Shouts out to Pilot Wings.
Fucking Pilot Wings.
Wow.
Throwing it way back. Dude. Yeah, I don't know. I know Ocarina of Time came out after Mario 64.
A year or two after, for sure.
Yeah, it had the gold cartridge. It was different. It was built different. It was fucking heavier.
Oh, this is what I was going to say. Was going to ask. And then there was the Master Quest.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't even know what that is.
Master Quest, it was when they were releasing Wind Waker, you could pre-order it.
Oh,
and
I get what you're saying.
You would get Ocarina of Time on a GameCube disc, but then it would also come with like the Master Quest edition. And basically all the Master Quest was like all the dungeons are backwards. It like
wow.
It was not good. I'm not gonna lie.
I get you.
Because they had that on the 64, right?
They when they re-released it too on the what the fuck was it, 3DS? Master Quest came with it too.
Oh wow!
And it's I mean, I don't know anyone who's ever been like, yeah, Master Quest is the best version. Like, it's not fun.
Oh wow!
Dude, I almost got a 3DS just to play Ocarina of Time again.
It does look nice, the original version on that. It was very worth it, but that came out a while ago too.
Yeah, but you mentioned Wind Waker. We talked to Wind Waker. I think that one has the best soundtrack. The one song, like the main island, one of the main islands, like the fire
Dragon Roost.
Dragon Roost Island, I think is one of the best.
Oh, it's a banger for sure.
Yeah, and there's some other like boss battles in Wind Waker, and the reason I Wind Waker holds such a special place, it is my favorite besides Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild is just fucking masterpiece. But prior to Breath of the Wild, Wind Waker was definitely my favorite, and I'll tell you why. A little bit of a spoiler. Have you beaten it, Brady?
Yes.
Okay, so I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen at the end because I didn't beat it yet and I didn't watch any videos. But you're fighting Ganondorf. You're a little kid. You got a little sword, and you're fighting him. He's big as fuck. He's like 15 times taller than you, but he's just like a normal man because you're a kid. You kill him. You beat him. You bring his health down. Then you run up his body in a cutscene and stab him in the forehead.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Like this is like a 12-inch deep stab right into dude's forehead. And I was just like, my jaw dropped. And I thought, holy shit. That's like, there was nothing violent about the game.
No, the game was so kid-friendly. Then stab in the fucking face.
Dude, I just think about the guy who like made that decision. You know?
Yeah, who was that guy that made that decision?
Fucking lucky guy. He did it right, dude, because that was just an intense... I didn't expect it, but it was fantastic.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal game, man. Phenomenal.
So Wind Waker, Ted, comes after, I think, the adult timeline, which is you grow up in Ocarina, you defeat Ganondorf. Zelda sends the kid version back, but Zelda keeps living in shitland, right?
Whoa.
And they go and they seal, I'm pretty sure they go and they seal Ganondorf away, and the seal isn't strong enough. Eventually the seal breaks and they flood the world. So Wind Waker happens hundreds and thousands of years later.
Yeah.
When the world is flooded, like that fucking Kevin Costner movie Waterworld.
Oh my God! Wow.
And you roll around on a little boat, like island to island, saving lives. And like you have a fucking like little, I don't know what it's called, Brady. What's
that was a cell shaded one, right?
Yeah, the cell shaded one.
What's the item he uses?
What, the boat?
Nah, the thing to do music with.
Oh God, what is that thing called?
It's like
the wind stick. I don't know.
Yeah, the wind stick. But it's like,
what is that thing called?
Like I'm deferring to the music guy of the three of us, and it's just I don't know what it is.
And I told you wind stick.
Yeah. So the thing that like in a orchestra, where's that dude with the gloves, the white gloves, stands in front, like he's the only one that doesn't face the crew. Like he's the only one that doesn't face the audience, and he's like waving his stick, whatever that fucking thing is. That's what you use, and you control the wind, and the wind pushes you around on sail, like with your sail and shit. Wind Waker is dope. It's definitely different.
For some reason, I think it might actually just be called Wind Waker.
Yeah,
like he's using the Wind Waker. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong though.
Well, you know what? We'll let fucking everybody who listens to this podcast just be screaming at us while we're recording.
Yeah, I'm sure it's something like super obvious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with wind stick though.
That's what happens when you get high as fuck.
So all these different Zeldas and all these different Links are all different people, right?
Except one thing.
Except for
cool
Zelda.
thing,
Zelda's like a spiritual.
Well, no, she's reincarnated.
Right?
And stuff.
Yeah, she's reincarnated.
But the dope thing is Ganondorf is usually the same dude. It's like the same Ganondorf.
That's
every
pretty
time.
cool. That's pretty cool.
He's an OG. He's definitely cooler than Bowser.
Oh, he's way cooler than Bowser. Come on now.
Ganondorf's my favorite character in the Zelda series.
In one of the Smash Brothers, he's just a Falco clone.
Yeah, but he's like fucking way stronger.
Is he still like that? In the new one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty much still like Captain Falcon and
it's they changed they what's it called? They customized him a little bit, but he's still a Falcon clone, but he's like the heaviest. He's like one of the heaviest characters.
No, because Falcon's like the shit anyway, so
dude. When does Falcon use those fucking attacks in F-Zero?
Never. They made them shits up. In the
definitely made him up.
It fucking makes no sense. This guy
Falcon, buzz!
Doug, why are you racing cars if you can do shit like that?
I will say
he's an acrobat.
For making those moves up, pretty creative, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty dope. The Falcon Punch, like who are these people? Like these people are on drugs making these decisions. They have to be.
100%. 100%.
Like I don't want to do a Japanese accent, but it was a Japanese guy. But he just at his board table.
But who would think like Nintendo's bread and butter is just makes money off of just some guy stomping on Goombas and jumping in pipes?
Dude, that's our fault for buying it. But like, Star Fox in the Melee games, he at least uses a pistol and shit in his games.
Yeah,
right. It like made sense. So you actually fight with him. But like I'm a kind of guy who plays like Super Smash, and I like playing with characters who games I've actually beaten because I feel like I've actually earned the right to use them.
That's pretty interesting.
See, I was like that for a while too, until they put King DDD in the game, so I could just do the side B move the whole time, just shoot the Gordos at him.
Yeah, I heard he's really good.
Yeah, Kirby's a good title. Kirby sucks hard.
Yes.
In a good way. He can fucking suck a black hole up.
Yeah, did we determine he's the strongest Nintendo character?
Dude, they fucking made him strong as fuck when he's in space just chilling and there's a black hole fucking pulling him in. He's just like just fucking funneling the shit into him.
Wait, did he really eat a black hole? I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure, dude. Now either he did and I'm right, or he didn't, and I wrote an article like 4 years ago about it that was completely based on something I made up and a complete falsity.
No, we're gonna say it's a fact. Kirby for sure ate a black hole.
Yeah, he sucked it in and he shit it out, and then he had the power of the vacuum.
Wow,
that's canon. You can print that.
It's definitely canon.
Yeah. So back to Zelda. What? So you think your favorite game, Brady? You said Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time. I have to say Breath of the Wild. But what was the first one you played? What was like the first Zelda game that you played?
Ocarina of Time was the first one I played.
Oh.
And then around the same time, too, I also played A Link to the Past.
Yeah. So you had...
Was that the side-scrolling one?
No, it was top-down.
Oh, it was top-down, okay.
That was good. That one's pretty good. That's the one my brother played that game once, and I think he played it without ever he's one of them dudes who played it and never got hit.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, because he'll be like, dude, I love that game. That game's like my son. Like those are his exact words. That was the first one for me. I think I fucked with the one on Nintendo a little bit, but that shit was too hard.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I don't really like that game very much. It's not that fun.
No,
you know what? It's just dated.
What is he? Yep. What's he doing with the sword? Is he like? I thought it was like shooting bow and arrows, but he's just. It's like a sword beam.
It's not the sword. It's his dick.
It's definitely his dick. It's canon.
I know what you're saying though, but like the one on Super Nintendo was the first one for me, and I never beat it.
No, really.
I played it all the time. I couldn't. I just.
It's a hard game though. Honestly.
It is a hard game. It's not for fools.
How many hours would you say that game is?
You could probably beat them in like 15, 20 hours, but if it's your first time trying to get like the full hearts and like all the gear, it'd probably take you like 30 plus.
Yeah, especially if you're going into that game not knowing anything about it, it's going to take a while.
Yeah, what's the longest one you think?
Breath of the Wild, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because
there's just so much to do, dog. Like, and I'm not talking about replay value, because I beat it once already. Actually, I beat it twice. And then I'm playing it again, just exploring. And I've already put in like 140 hours. Like just
on the same save?
No, on a different save.
On a different save.
First time I played it, maybe I just lied. I think I beat it once for sure. Like I played it like 18 hours one day. Like that's how fucking good it was.
It's very addicting.
Yeah. And you feel like you're doing shit too. And then you realize that your life, like in real life, you just been sitting on a recliner chair under a blanket, like covered in fucking Tostito chips, like fucking weed crumble off on your desk, and like
so like what's sweating. Like the worst? Is there like a worst mission in that game?
Which one?
A mission that you dread on doing?
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, it's one of them games where you can do whatever you want. You can go at any rate that you want.
Because I know, like, once I played, like, what was it? It was Fallout. Once I played and beat that, like, I had no incentive to, like, ever play that shit again.
Okay, so Breath of the Wild, I'm sure Brady will agree. Like, you could just go and run around in the woods.
Yeah, it's a great game to, like, if you just pick it up and you have no objective, you're just like, I just want to go fucking kill some enemies, make some food, do whatever. Like, you could just play that game. You think you'd get bored, but, like, all of a sudden you look at your watch, it'll be like 2 hours later. Like, oh, I've been running around this forest for 2 hours just killing people.
I've been climbing. I've been gathering bananas for an hour.
Right.
Because there's a whole cooking element in that game, too.
Right. I always laugh when I play that game, too, because it's like I'm supposed to be the hero, you know, like preparing for my battle for Ganon, but I'm actually just murdering innocent people all over left and right. Or not people, whatever the fuck they are.
The boat goblins and the fucking goblin pig things.
I'm actually just murdering. They're not even bothering me. I'm just sneaking up on them and just killing them.
Yeah, there is like a sneak. There is like a. That's why you asked me earlier, Ted. You said like, is Breath of the Wild better than Witcher 3? I say yes. They're different games, but I say yes because you can climb, you can jump, and fucking paraglide, which you've seen, and then there's also stealth. There's also like a stealth element, which I fucking love that.
Which is really fun too. And when I got the game, I didn't even know there was going to be like any stealth element to it.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I don't know what, like, I knew I was going to play it. Zelda's like one of those games that when a new one comes out, I'm getting it. Like, there's that, I don't know if you checked this out yet, Brady, but there's a fucking Hyrule Warriors game coming out in a month.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's the prequel to Breath of the Wild.
That's fucking cool. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get that or not, because that's like it's like a fighting thing, right?
I'm getting it only because...
It's like a Dynasty Warriors clone.
Yeah. Dynasty Warriors, that's right.
But they made it canon to Zelda, so it literally is the prequel to...
And I heard they got caught denying it's part of the timeline, but I don't know. I was watching some dude talk about that shit.
So the cool thing about it is that Breath of the Wild, you start the game off being resurrected. The hero gets resurrected 100 years after dying. He loses the fight. The hero loses the fight, Link, to Ganondorf. And then he's dead for 100 years. Shit goes down. They resurrect him, and he comes back. But like when he died 100 years ago, that's like it was a huge war, and that's what the Hyrule Warriors game is about. It's that battle.
That sounds dope, actually. Maybe I need to get that game.
Dude, I'm gonna send you the fucking like 2-minute trailer that's like says you might be excited. I'm hyped as fuck for it.
Yeah, do that. That sounds cool.
I might be more. This might be all our listeners who definitely exist. They might get salty at me for saying this, but I'm more hyped for Hyrule Warriors than I am for Cyberpunk.
Really?
Yeah, dude, I don't know why. I mean, I know Cyberpunk's going to be dope. I know I'm going to play it, and I know I'm going to have to fucking hear about it for fucking 6 months about how great it is. But Hyrule Warriors, it's like Zelda actually, or not Zelda, it's like Nintendo making the right decision for once.
Right.
Not being little bitches, making dumb shit.
It's actually pretty true. So when's the last time you've seen Zelda, or I'm sorry, Link outside of an adventure game like that since Smash Brothers?
Yeah, this is true.
And the good thing about Nintendo games, most of the time they're going to end up being really fun to play. You can always count on Nintendo games just being fun, you know? Cyberpunk, it's kind of like, it looks really cool. The idea of it's really cool, but it's kind of like, it might be good. I don't know yet, you know?
Yeah, like, what's the last Nintendo game you bought and you got disappointed?
Fucking a lot of them. Dude, you'd be surprised, dude. Pokemon Shield.
Oh, yeah, I don't fuck with that shit.
Dude, I stopped playing Pokemon years ago. I still love the Pokemon series.
Right. I'm with you there. I'm with you there. But the new ones, man, they're just so dumbed down.
Yeah. It was the easiest
compared to all the options you had before and shit.
Dude, it's just a cash grab. It's the fucking Pokemon people. They're sitting in a boardroom somewhere laughing at us.
Oh yeah,
because we bought the same game for fucking 20 years.
Like, I think it's just like Sword and Shield. It's like almost as in depth of like Red and Blue. You know, like
yeah,
that came out on the original Game Boy.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten much better than the ones on like Game Boy and Game Boy Advance.
Wow.
And I would say the ones in the original Game Boy were a lot more like challenging than Sword and Shield.
Yeah, dude, fucking. We did a whole Pokemon episode. That was a lot of fun. We're gonna have to do another one.
Oh, you can do tons of Pokemon episodes.
Dude, we were talking about like how dope it would be to do a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, but as like in the Pokemon world.
Ooh.
Right?
It does sound pretty cool.
Be like, oh, I choose Charizard. And it's like, your Charizard has chlamydia. and can't continue. Give him some, like, you spray fucking medicine on him and shit. And then, you get fucking attacked by an onyx in a cave or some shit, getting all fucked up, getting all slapped around by a rock snake.
What?
I've never played a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Neither have I.
I would assume they're probably fun though. Those people seem pretty dedicated to it.
Yeah, my girlfriend really wants to do a campaign. She listens to a couple podcasts where all it is it's a Dungeons and Dragons D&D campaign.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have a lot of podcasts like that. I'm gonna shout out not another D&D podcast, but newsflash, trick story. It is a D&D podcast. That's just the title.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So we were talking about like how shit went down with the Wind Waker and they flooded the world. The other version, Twilight Princess, which was my favorite one, probably not my favorite one, but what I think was the best one until Breath of the Wild came out, in a way, because you were adult Link the whole time. And you turn into a wolf.
Were those the two games that they made on GameCube and on Wii?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if Wind Waker was made on Wii, but I know that Twilight Princess was on GameCube and Wii.
Oh, you know what? Wind Waker was GameCube and then Wii U.
Oh, right. Yeah, they did the HD. Which, if they charge me $60 in the future for an HD remake of Wind Waker, I'm buying it.
Oh, my dumbass will buy it for sure.
I'll buy it. I'll get like $3 off from like Nintendo points and be like, yeah, I saved some money.
Yeah.
I fucking bought this game. For $50.
I bought that game like 3 times now.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's a great game though.
That's how I am with Final Fantasy VII. I've easily spent like $150 buying that game for different fucking platforms. So like Twilight Princess, basically what happens is you go back in time, like you defeat Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time, right? Zelda sends you back, and then they put Ganondorf away. Then you go to Majora's Mask World. That's like the sequel to Ocarina of Time. And then Link, he beats the Majora's Mask. He comes back to Hyrule and settles down, has some kids. And he's super depressed because nobody knows who the fuck he is. Because, like, he saved the world, but he's not even in that timeline anymore. But Ganondorf is. So they sealed Ganondorf into the Twilight Realm. Then comes back, time and time later. Twilight Princess game starts. Ganondorf pretty much breaks out of the Twilight Realm. Tries to turn the whole world into a dark world by like mixing it with Twilight or some shit. And then Link is the descendant of the Link in Twilight Princess is a direct descendant of the Link in Ocarina of Time. So like the timeline, like they did a good job putting it together. It's a little fucked up, but it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
It does all end up fitting together, which is funny, but yeah, it does work.
Oddly enough, I don't think they have a place for Breath of the Wild. It's just like they say it's the end of all timelines.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to look it up earlier today too, because the last time I really looked in depth of the timelines was probably before Breath of the Wild came out. So I was kind of trying to brush up. I was like, oh yeah, wonder what Breath of the Wild is, and no one really had an answer for it.
Yeah, I've heard that it literally...
Isn't that the game that has references to all the timelines?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like, there's reference to, like, a convergence?
Yeah, something like that. They say it's like the inevitability of all the timelines will be Breath of the Wild. That Ganondorf will return. Breath of the Wild is where all the timelines kind of like converge or some shit. It's definitely a game I think everybody should play. It's that good.
Really?
I'd agree with that.
It won Game of the Year. Like, I know there's, Game of the Year.
And not just because of the way the grass looks?
Dude, the grass is cute, man. The way it flows in the wind.
All the games have to have Legend of Zelda grass now.
Yeah, dude. You can see how influential the game is. It sparked this whole genre of cell shadings, like graphics.
Yeah.
The cell shading really does look like, because obviously the Switch and the Wii U have like limitations, like very clearly, but
yeah,
the cell shading really makes it, one, look good now, but two, it still looks pretty good like down the line, which is why Wind Waker still looks so good today.
Yeah, you can get away with more.
Yes.
Or get away with less, I should say.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
So, I guess, Ted, I would like to ask you, which game in the series looks most appealing to you? I know you've never really played them, but besides Breath of the Wild, because it's the sexiest grass, the sexiest hose.
I guess Twilight Princess looked pretty cool.
Did you play that one, Brady?
Yeah, I did.
Dude, the ending to that game was dope.
Yeah, that game in itself was really cool too. Twilight Princess, I worked for a record label for a little bit. They were called Respawn Records, and I had to make a Twilight Princess like cover album. So I didn't use a sample since it was released on vinyl. So I had to like remake all of it over with just like my synths and stuff. But because of that, I replayed the game. What was it? I think this summer, probably like in June, just to kind of get a better feel of the soundtrack.
Oh, this was recent.
Yeah, recent.
Oh, that's dope.
It's a good fucking game still, man. It's really fun.
I really want them to like remaster that and put it out, because I can't remember most aspects of it, but I do remember that there were different fighting techniques that you learned.
Yes.
So there's like this, I don't know, it's a skull guy, right? It's the Skull Knight, very similar to Berserk.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
And he teaches you different techniques, like fighting techniques, and there were so many different layers to the game. You could turn into a wolf and run around as a wolf and fuck people up. The first time that you turn into the wolf, it's like they show like the full transformation. That shit fucking spooked me when I was a little younger.
Oh, I was spooked for sure, bro.
Yeah, it's like his face literally like grows into the wolf's face. It's like they show it and they never show it again.
He was like screaming in like agony too, wasn't
he? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, my like little 5th grade mind at the time, or however old I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And that game, it almost seemed like fan service from Ocarina of Time, because that was the second game, I believe, ever to have adult Link.
Yeah, you're right.
So he was a straight up teenager. And then Twilight Princess, that's what we're talking about. Skyward Sword, which was on the
Wind
Wii
Waker's
garbage.
the one on the water, right?
What?
Yes,
Wind Waker, yeah.
That one was probably the one I didn't ever want to play. I felt like it was just...
You're a pirate, though.
I don't know. It was just wasn't appealing to me.
I could see that, but that's a game though that if you got a chance to like, you want to, it's like a TV show that you've been putting off that gets good ratings.
That's a very accurate description.
So you think, I don't want to watch it with that bitch. Like, I don't want to watch that actor do shit. And then you play it and then you watch it and you're like,
Okay.
Well, I remember when Wind Waker came out, a lot of people were really upset of how it looked, because everyone was expecting that next, transition from Ocarina
No, but that
of Time.
takes cell shading to the next level. That game, right?
No,
that shit has thick lines.
No, but Brady, you're right. Everybody wanted adult Link.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then Twilight Princess came out, and they couldn't have looked any different, those two games.
Right, they look so different, and they're only a few years apart, too.
Yeah, that was such a glorious time for Zelda. Like, whoa. Those two games coming out, kind of like back to back.
Yeah, they really were. That's a killer back-to-back games right there, man.
Yeah, dude.
Because if you didn't like one, you probably liked the other, to be honest.
Yeah, but I love them both. I can't decide which one I like more. And it seems like, in a way, Breath of the Wild pulled the great parts of both of them.
Yes.
And the great pieces of Ocarina of Time.
I think Breath of the Wild, like you said, yeah, it just pulled from everywhere, too, you know?
Yeah, dude, you got some Assassin's Creed in there.
Yes.
You got some... He fucking flies. Like, you can fly.
And I remember even playing Ocarina of Time as a kid. And, like, if you're climbing Death Mountain, I remember having the exact thought as a kid, like, man, I wish I could just climb this wall.
Yeah.
And then, like, oh, Breath of the Wild, you can. Go for it.
Dude, part of me thinks that after playing Breath of the Wild, it'll kind of ruin the older games for me.
I was going to actually bring that up. Because it's just so different now, playing the... Yeah. It's very
linear. You couldn't start off like with that one. Like you wouldn't be able to go backwards. Freedom.
Like Doug, like you're going back to a game where you have less freedom.
Yeah, all the other games are all linear. Like you have to play the game kind of in this way. You might have a little freedom here and there, but you basically have to play the game this way. Whereas Breath of the Wild is fuck it, dude. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, do whatever you want. Get better, and then go fucking like you can literally like you have all the tools you need to beat the game as soon as you finish the tutorial.
So I assume both of you gentlemen, I'm a newbie to this, but both of you gentlemen have a majority of the games.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I mean, let me just list off real quick, and then I'd like to hear the ones you played, Brady. Like, I played the first one ever, and I probably didn't play it for more than 15 minutes.
Yeah, I've played it. I don't think I've ever got past, like, the second dungeon.
Yeah. I don't even think I got to the first dungeon. I didn't give a fuck. Because it was the same thing with the Mario games. Like I didn't play Mario 1, 2, and 3 as much because I grew up with Super Mario World and Yoshi was in it and it was better graphics.
Right.
And I was like, why go back? So Link to the Past I played a little bit. Ocarina of Time I played a lot. But I think Wind Waker, actually no, Twilight Princess or the one on the Game Boy, Minish Cap or Twilight Princess were the first ones that I beat. Then I beat Wind Waker. Then I went back and beat Ocarina of Time because I was like, I've always loved these games, but I wasn't smart enough or old enough to like really beat them and shit. I played Oracle of Seasons. I didn't beat it. Never played Link's Awakening. I think I'm waiting for it to go on sale for Switch.
Yeah.
Didn't play Skyward Sword. And then, of course, I beat Breath of the Wild. So I played most of them.
That's pretty much the same here. I played, I think, every one except Skyward Sword.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'll ever play it. Like I'm not. Yeah, I don't see into my future, but I can make some fucking guesses, and I don't think I'm gonna be getting a fucking Wii U.
Yeah, I don't see myself ever playing Skyward Sword either.
Like if somebody
isn't that on the Wii also or no?
No,
I think it was just Wii, right?
It was just Wii U. Wait, which one?
Skyward Sword?
No, that one was just Wii U.
Oh, never mind that.
What?
Yeah, it didn't come out on the Wii. I'm like almost 99.9% sure. Because I would have, there's no reason why I wouldn't have gotten it if it was on Switch. Or Wii. Unless I'm just on drugs and fucking...
Honestly, though, like, it doesn't matter. I don't hear anybody on the internet or like in real life talking about Skyward Sword anymore, you know?
Yeah, I think the general like feedback from it that I've heard is it's like meh. It's like a meh. It's okay. They didn't do anything crazy new. It was really, but when Breath of the Wild came out, like nobody gave a fuck about any other Zelda games.
Right.
Like it was.
So, what are your thoughts on Breath of the Wild 2?
Oh, I can't wait for it.
Oh boy.
Oh wait, they're already hinting that, right?
Dog, it's being made. They got trailers out and everything.
What?
Oh yeah. There's
Was
a
it
fucking
in like a
trailer.
new land or some shit?
No, it's in the same land, except I think the whole map. The map's huge in Breath of the Wild. It's huge. They're doing the whole map. They're probably going to expand a little bit, and they're also doing a whole underground system, like of caverns and fucking dungeons. And it's all connected and shit. Yeah, that's what I read. And they've already showed like a trailer of Zelda and Link riding a giant elephant underground looking for like evil stuff.
Whoa.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Gonna be sick, dude.
Have you seen that, Brady?
Yeah, I remember it was like during one of the E3 press conferences, I think. I think it was 2019. Oh, yeah, it had to be 2019. There was no E3 this year.
Yeah.
But, it was
COVID.
Because of the COVID. But, yeah, man, that trailer has me so excited.
Dude, I think I lied to you guys. Fucking Skyward Sword. This internet thing is telling me that it was on the Wii.
Oh shit!
Let's go back.
So you gotta get that now.
Yeah, or maybe I'll just like shy away from it.
Because this is making me honestly like, dust off the old Wii, plug it in, go to the game store and figure out what Zelda game to get on the Wii.
Dude, I don't know what you would say, Brady, but I'd say Twilight Princess.
Yeah, Twilight Princess is a good one to play.
And then Wind Waker.
Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. You can't go wrong with either one of those. They're just so good.
Like Wind Waker might look like you're a little bitch
I think
kid.
I would have to get that shit for the GameCube though, because I don't want to do all that fucking
you can play
Wii
GameCube
stretching
games.
shit.
You can play GameCube games on the Switch. Do you have a Switch? God damn it, a Wii.
Yeah, I have a Wii, but like I'm
marijuana
saying,
affects the memory.
It's like, do I want to trade in like frame rate for like better controls? That's like what I'm deciding. Like,
yeah,
get it on the Wii or get it on the GameCube. But if I get it on the GameCube, it's only gonna be like 30 frames.
Shit.
You
might at that point you might as well just get an emulator if you're gonna do GameCube. What the fuck?
Really?
Yeah, why not? What are you gonna get a whole ass?
Well,
GameCube
that's why I bought the Wii because.
But you can play GameCube games on the Wii, no problem.
Yeah.
So you might as well just do that. Yeah, I would recommend that.
The games are gonna be mad expensive still. Nintendo's got like a chokehold on like used games. Like nothing goes down. If
you are patient enough, you can wait till I go back to California and get some of my shit there.
Oh shit!
And I'll just straight up hand it to you when I come back, though. So, okay, let me get back to. I got a whole questionnaire in front of me. Obviously, I don't know what Ted's experience is, but there's a lot of Zelda porn on the internet.
I like where this is going.
most of it has to do with Zelda getting fucked by either Link or Ganondorf. It's not super creative, but I have to say that of all the ones that I looked at, and for research, of course, was Naburu's Surprise. And you could you just look it up yourself. I can't imagine a world where I need Zelda porn, but I'm glad it's there. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Because that means people watch it.
Yeah.
It might mean people care about it. Like you go into Pornhub and you type in Zelda. Like that's what you type in.
I'm not surprised by anything. If you tell me there's like a fetish of anything, I'd be like, yep, there is. I guarantee it.
Well, the production value of Naburu's Surprise will blow you away.
Wow. I'm going to take your word for it.
Yeah, you should. I fucking literally just typed it in, like, Zelda porn. Of course, there's like 1,000 links. Click one, and it's just, I look at like the most viewed, and it's just the thumbnails. Most of them were like hentai, but there was some live action Fucking nonsense.
Oh, dedicated people.
Hey, dude.
What are the little goblins in Breath of the Wild called again?
Moblins or Boke goblins? Oh,
Boke goblins, right?
Boke goblins are the tall ones.
Okay, then I'm thinking of moblins, the little ones.
Shit, I think I'm fucking wrong. I think I was right the first time. The Boke goblins are the short guys, and the moblins.
Yeah, I want porn of those guys. That's all I want.
Yeah. Dude, those guys, they probably got real deep vaginas. Speaking of vaginas, do you think Gorons have vaginas?
I don't know.
Or do they?
They have to.
Wait,
they have
are
to
those like
somehow.
the timeless people who exist in all timelines?
Yeah, they're like the rock people. They like live in the fucking.
No, those are the people who live in all the timelines, right?
Yeah, those are the Gorons. They live in. They're like made of rock. They eat rocks for real.
What?
They eat
they're
rocks.
made of rocks.
No, they're not made of rocks because that would be.
Wait, are they made of rocks?
No, I don't think so. They're like.
What are they?
They're like fucking armadillo hippopotamus.
So like, are they? So like, when normal people are walking around the Zelda world or Hyrule, right? When they see a Goron, do they like look down upon them, or are they see him as an equal?
Oh, there's definitely a lot of racism.
I would assume
Hyrule.
they're super racist because they're like, "Hey, you weird looking rock motherfuckers, can you go live in that mountain up there so no one can see you?"
Lava pits.
No, but I heard like there was like the Civil War, but they don't tell you what the Civil War was about.
Well, I think the Civil
in the
War
Zelda universe
was like the yeah, they don't tell you, but I think it's. I do think
it has to be about
something.
It can't just be a Civil War.
Well, I think
just to be a Civil War.
Ganondorf like infiltrated different tribes and started the war. You know what I'm saying? Because there's the Zora, who they're the water people, and I think they're like the higher ups, right?
Yeah, they always got fancy shit going on, right?
Yeah, they live longer and shit. They're like the elves, right? Even though fucking Zelda's an elf, whatever. And the Gorons are kind of like dwarves. And the Gerudo are kind of like the sand people. You know, like there's that trope in other fucking video games and shit.
And then there's like bird people too, right?
Yeah, so the birds essentially are, the Rito are evolved from the Zora. That's how it is in Wind Waker, at least. Which makes no fucking sense. So,
I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah, so real quick. The Zora, water people, evolve into,
and they only have that one hot chick, right?
No, they're all kind of sexy.
They're all chicks.
Yeah. Well, no, there's dudes. The dudes are just fucking gross, though. Actually, the Zora, they kind of look the same. But the Zora, they grow up. No, they evolve. The water people evolve into winged creatures, like flying Rito. But you want to know when they evolve into the flying things? When the world gets covered in water. Is that the dumbest ass shit you ever heard? Like a fucking race of water people evolve into flying people when the earth covers in water.
I had never heard that before. That's so weird. Yeah, you're right.
Fucking stupid. It makes no fucking sense. And I demand answers.
That's crazy, dog. Where'd you hear that information from?
It's in Wind Waker.
Oh, it's in Wind Waker. It said it.
Yeah, like because the boat that you ride around on, actually, insider info, Ted, is a fucking person, like a spirit of the king of Hyrule, in a boat with a lion's head.
Oh, that's what I seen. That like
yeah, yeah, it like turns
it's
around.
Like a fucking. Well, it looks like that
lion.
shit.
It's like a lion.
That shit people dancing for like Chinese New Year's, like the fucking.
Yes. Yes, the Chinese dragon. Maybe it's not a lion at all, but that's the spirit of the king of Hyrule in that.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what that is. So, shit, I forgot what.
So they were like, "Here's the talking boat. Let's fuck with the talking boat."
Yeah, get inside me. That's what he says. He says, "Get inside me, and then move your wind stick. Wave your wind stick when you get inside me. Wave your wind stick, and I'll take you wherever. I'll take you wherever you want. And
throw that hot dog down my hallway. Why don't you?"
So, So of the races, there's the Zora, the Gerudo, the Sand people, the Zora, the Water people, the Rito, the Wind people and Air people, and then the Earth Rock people, the Gorons. And
All
then
types of people.
Then there's the humans. Then there's the Goblin people, and I think there's another one.
I thought of something really fucked up. There's no black people though.
There's a couple black people in Breath of the Wild.
Kind of
like Lord of the Rings.
Fucking water people, fucking rock people.
Yeah, but then the other group is humans.
Yeah, I think there is black people in Breath of the Wild, actually. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, there is. There's definitely.
There's definitely non-whiteys.
There's at least one.
Definitely non-whiteys.
There's at least one, and
there's at least one, and his name is Mr. Popo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't in one of the Dragon Ball re-releases they just made him bright blue?
Yeah. Him and Jinx. And Jinx and Pokemon.
It just looks terrible.
Nintendo was like, sorry,
dude,
we only have one. We only have one blackface. Go look at Dragon Ball Z. They got another blackface guy over there. We'll fix ours and they'll fix theirs. So one thing I wanted to talk about before we wrap it up, they're going to eventually come out with a Legend of Zelda TV show. I don't know if Amazon Prime is going to do it. I'm hoping HBO does it.
Oh boy, I didn't know any of that.
Well, there's been scripts, there's been talks of it, people have purchased the rights, obviously.
Oh wow.
And I'm pretty sure one's coming out. Now, for me, since Link doesn't talk much, there's not a lot of dialogue in Zelda games. It's all action and adventure. I was consulting with my girlfriend about this. If they come out with a TV series, what do you want from it? What would you expect? And
you want my honest answer?
Yeah.
I don't want a TV series.
Ooh.
Because every time
FBI's listening.
Every time someone tries to make a TV series of either a video game or an anime or something, it always fucking sucks.
You didn't like Witcher?
Not really. Can't lie. I did not really.
Damn, I kind of liked it.
I will say that is way better than most other examples.
That's understandable. Now,
that's I take it back. Which that's a really well-made show. It's not for me, but it's a well-made show.
I can respect that because it is. I do think they went for it full in. They didn't fucking pull any cut any corners or pull any bullshit.
I think the main reason I wouldn't want a Zelda show is because, like you were saying, Link never has dialogue, and I wouldn't want.
He's like the dude from GTA 3.
Yeah,
yep.
I don't want them putting words in his mouth. I'm like, oh wait, I always thought Link of this go this way, not whatever dialogue you make him have in your TV show.
Yeah, all the dialogue has to come from elsewhere, or it comes from a little fairy following you around.
Right. That's the only way the show will work.
Because it would have to be Ocarina. It would have to be Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I think you're right. Right.
They'd have to follow that story somewhat for it to be of any. That's the most complicated, I think, well-developed storyline of the stories.
Yeah, that's definitely the best story, right? Because Breath of the Wild is probably the best game as far as 2020 goes, but the story is just right?
Yeah, it's hey, you got to beat this guy.
Yeah, but Ocarina of Time, that's a pretty in-depth story. Actually, thinking about it,
time travel, fucking the world ends, shit like that. You lose, you fucking, it's your fault.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that would be a cool show.
Now, here's the thing that I dug up in my own mind. If they were to make a TV show, they'd have to film it. They'd have to approach it from the angle of a World War II film, like fighting evil and nonstop action, dark tones, and think about it, and Mad Max Fury Road.
Ooh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Nonstop fucking action fighting. This guy's covered in blood, the whole shit.
Okay, if they made it see, I wasn't even thinking about it like that. If they made it dark and gritty like that, okay, I'm on board.
It would have to be, because that's one of my questions I wrote down, things to talk about. Like, what is something about the Zelda games that you think is missing? Like, what don't you like about it? What's your least favorite? And mine, I wrote down, like, there's no blood. And not that I need blood, but, like, imagine if the guy who made Doom fucking made a Zelda game.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm with you. I think that'd be cool. I always kind of want, especially with the timeline for, I guess, technology in Zelda games, I think it'd be kind of cool if they kind of advanced it. Like, I would still love Link, obviously. They'd still have, like, the Master Sword.
Right.
But I think it'd be pretty badass if he was fighting against motherfuckers with guns.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
a master pistol.
So you turn Link into Metal Gear Rising Link?
Right. I'm thinking not like a modern age, but like almost like the samurai age was like what, 1600s, 1700s?
Yeah, like that's when it kind of ended, I think.
Right. So like if I could get it like maybe 1800s-ish where like they started having like guns and shit, I think that'd
the
be
last samurai
dope.
of Hyrule.
Right, something like that. I think that would be fucking cool, man.
That's what the show needs. Like, I don't give a fuck what storyline they pick for the TV show. I hope they come up with a whole new one, which I think they should. That'd be kind of the right choice. Like, you make up, almost treat it like it's its own game, you know, like its own storyline, its own gimmicks.
What if they put it into the canon?
They could. They fucking put everything in the canon. They just say, oh, it's a reincarnation. It goes here.
But aren't the CDI games in the canon too?
They might be. Somebody's fucking proud of them somewhere.
Whoever made the CDI games right now is just laughing.
Yeah. It's just like, probably just like swimming in gold coins like fucking Ebenezer Scrooge. Fucking trash games.
These people are still talking about my games. I made it in a week on a Coke binge.
Dude, speaking of Coke binge, what drugs do you think Link does?
Well, you gotta think shrooms for sure, right?
Yeah.
Because he's eating whatever the fuck he's finding on the ground.
I was thinking he's like a frog licker.
I can see him licking some toads for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Teddy? What do you think? Think he smokes some... You think he's got a vape pen?
No, I don't know. I don't know what he's got. I think some of that fruit is a little poisonous.
Or he just ferments it. He's just a drunkard.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'd like to think that Link's a drunk, like, warrior.
I feel like he's just tripping out all the time.
Well, Mario definitely is, shoving all those mushrooms in his fat Italian mouth.
Yeah, Mario's got that body, though, that big beer belly. You know he's taking down some Natty Lights for sure. Yeah. It's got to be a shitty beer like Natty Light, too. You know Mario's not drinking some high-class shit.
So all right, so we're getting to the end of the questions. There's like a lot of like alien shit. A lot of like some of the people who bring things to Hyrule in the games, they're aliens and fairies and shit. But enough of all that. What's your favorite art style? Like, which game art style is your favorite? Because I think mine, and not like art, like just like the game graphics. Because I think mine's Minish Cap. Just to not be a jabroni and pick like Breath of the Wild, because obviously it's beautiful.
God damn it, I was going to pick Breath of the Wild.
But no, because that's the obvious answer. You know what I mean? Like, that's the right answer.
That's a great question, though. Yeah, I do, to be a complete jabroni, Breath of the Wild, it does a good job of taking art styles from all the previous games and combining them into one.
While still kind of keeping it, like, making it feel like a real world, like, not too cartoonish.
Yes, exactly.
But
the Minish Cap answer, that had great artwork, too. The sprite work in that game is beautiful, you know?
Yeah, oddly enough, I love that, like, you wear this crazy hat that talks, but then in Mario Odyssey, because it's the Minish Cap, it's like a fucking cap that you put on your head. Right. In Mario Odyssey, you wear a talking hat, and I think that's the dumbest shit ever. So I guess I'm just a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, you know what? We just did about an hour and a half. We're over an hour. What are your closing thoughts, Ted? I want to hear what have you learned? What have you learned today?
Oh yeah. I want to know what you guys thought when. All right, there's like this one mission where you got to race this dude, but it's an impossible race.
Oh yeah.
How many times have you guys done that? I think it was in the original 64.
Yep, Lon Lon Ranch. That's what he's talking about, right? Right, Brady?
No, there's the male guy. You could race him. He's where do you talk to him at? Right at the base of the Gerudo village or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's literally impossible to beat him. For whatever reason, they didn't I don't know what the right terminology would be, but they didn't finish the coding to have a possible way to beat him.
Fucking assholes.
Because even when people did all the Game Shark shit, it's still impossible.
Jeez, I know what you're talking about, and I hate races in game, and I'm not racist. I hate the actual races.
Yes, I know what you
competing
mean.
against people, especially when it's required. It's you're playing this game and you run around on foot and you kill people with a sword, and then all of a sudden it's hey, you got to race this guy to advance to the next level.
Right. The racing things in games never really goes well when it's not a racing game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, but I remember the first time I played Zelda, my cousin was like, "Here, do this race for me. I can't beat it." And I was like, "Okay." And the motherfucker waited half the day to tell me that shit is impossible.
Yeah, me and my...
I told him to go fuck himself.
Me and my older
you're
siblings...
a dick. I spent all day in that fucking room trying to do that race.
Same shit, man. We went through the same shit. We tried that all day until eventually we just realized it was impossible.
Yeah, dude. That reminds me of the Mario Maker levels that are fucking 99% fail rate.
Right.
but they have the only way they can publish those games when they make them in Mario Maker 2 is if it's beatable. So,
oh shit, for real?
Yeah, they have to be beatable. So if you can't beat it, it's just a failure as a human. You know what I mean? So you're just calling attention to your inability. So what else you learned, Ted? Is that
I learned the timeline's on crack.
Yep.
It just does whatever it wants, Zelda transcends time, I guess, because she's somebody's ghost or some shit.
Yep. That's exactly it. She's a ghost.
And there's mad different links, and they're not the same dude at all.
Same sword, though, I think.
So it's Yoshimitsu, Link is the sword. Yoshimitsu is the sword.
Actually, I think the guy who you beat in Minish Cap is actually inside the sword or some shit.
Yeah, it is something weird like that.
Fucking, these people are psychos with this timeline shit.
The fucking dude that's a boat, and the fucking people are in swords, and it's fucking crazy.
Dude, it's a fantasy world.
And I thought Sheik was a dude.
No, Sheik was definitely a chick, right?
Yeah, it's Zelda.
Yeah, that's how I said Zelda. Because you ask Brady what you asked me.
I was like, I forget how I said it. I was like,
you said, does it make you homosexual?
Make you gay if you like Zelda because Sheik's just gonna pop out at any moment?
And I was like, no, dude, it's just fucking Zelda's. It's just her. She's just dressing like a ninja dude.
Because I somehow I thought Sheik was another person, a whole nother person that just comes out whenever, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type shit.
Well, what are those people? What are the Kakariko people? What is that? Who are they? What is that? What is that tribe called?
Yeah, no, you're right. The whatever it was, Kakariko, right? I think
that's what they are. Fuck,
I
feel like they had another name.
Oh no! I'm sorry. Sheikah.
The Sheikah, yeah, the Sheikah slate and stuff. It's like an ancient.
Yeah, Sheikah. My bad.
It's like an ancient race of people with long necks who.
Giraffes?
Nah.
Sheikah, you know what? They had some cool ass outfits. I will say that.
Yeah, they created a bunch of the technology and then they left or evolved into humans. What? So any other closing thoughts as we wrap it up?
So that's it. Zelda's a cool game, and the timeline's very interesting. And I think I'm gonna pick it up for the Wii.
That would make me happy.
Thumbs up.
Oh yeah.
Fucking guy. This guy's just lying to everybody. He's not going to play Zelda. He's too good for Zelda. He said he plays Tekken too much.
It's sad.
Well, Brady, I want to thank you. BKnapp. You got to check him out on SoundCloud, Bandcamp, YouTube. Thanks for coming on, man. This was great. Thanks for letting us use your music too.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. This is fun as hell.
And tell us one more time about your album that's dropping today. Right?
Yeah.
16th.
Clouds, new beat tape. Take a bunch of Nintendo sounds, but use my own compositions. Combine a bunch of other fucking random samples. It's a fun little beat tape. It'll be on streaming, hopefully sometime in November. My label can get it up there. So
awesome. Well, I'm definitely going to be checking it out. I'm definitely going to be listening to it.
Definitely.
Hell yeah. If you guys like the original ones, like the ones you guys use for the intro and outro, this tape, as far as like the drums and the production sounds, it sounds very familiar to that.
Ooh, I like that.
Nice.
I'm soothsaying my future, and I think I'm going to enjoy that shit.
And I can just, if you want, man, I can just email it to you too.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be fantastic. I'd love to listen to that stuff. Fuck, I had to go. Oh, yeah, and I just want to say we recorded on Remotely FM. Another shout out to Remotely and the founder. His name is. Oh, give me a second. Fuck, wrong email. We could just cut this stuff out. I have the control. Shout out to Remotely FM and the founder, who still on the wrong email. Fuck me. Daniel. Yeah, just shout out to Daniel Regifalk. I definitely pronounced that the wrong way. Founder of Remotely. Sorry, Daniel, but Remotely's fucking been great for us, recording our podcast, getting us to have some crisp video if we wanted it, and good audio. It's the only way that we're able to record this stuff during the COVID, because we're all spread out anyway across the country. So shout out to Daniel Regifalk. So but all right, that sounds like the good place to stop the show. That complete fucking fumble of a shout out to the Remotely FM. But check out BKnapp on anywhere. It's the internet. Just search him. BKnapp.
Hell yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for listening. That was the Zelda episode of High End Gaming. Say goodbye to the fans, Ted.
Later.